Get ready to use those Death Defiances. Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the toughest boss fights found in Hades 2.
Do try your best to pretend I'm not even here, which may be difficult, admittedly.
But before we dive in, we publish new content all week long. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Eris. The incarnate of strife more than earns her title with her boss fight. The insane range of her adamant rail gives her a significant advantage, and it can be hard to dodge many of her attacks since she often fires multiple blasts right after each other. It also doesn't help that she periodically gives herself a 100% damage boost for a brief time, or that she can summon minions, or that her wings give her the ability to get away from you and give herself more distance to shoot you from.
Now it's my turn.
Her tougher Vow of Rivals fight also deserves special mention. While she doesn't get the damage boost, the arena is much smaller and she can place hellfire bombs that deal significant damage. Either way, her weaponry makes her an easy boss to hate.
Alright, I'm going. Bye.
The Eye of Typhon. As you head towards the end of Olympus, you'll have to contend with mini-bosses connected to your main target, Typhon. They can each be hard in different ways depending on your weapon and boons. The immense speed of the twins of Typhon make them especially annoying to deal with, but we found the Eye to be the most consistently troublesome. The main reason is that the arena is swarming with hazards. Small, quick enemies will constantly hatch from the eggs around the area, a gigantic eyeball appears to roll towards you, and the boss will keep up a steady barrage of projectiles. There's just so much to watch out for that taking multiple hits in a row is likely, and if you aren't careful, the Eye can quickly rack up a lot of damage. Chronos. The big bad of the game may not be as hard as some of his forces you'll face on the surface, but as the final boss in the underworld, he definitely holds his own. That scythe of his can spell doom, whether he leaves a lingering rift that explodes afterwards, or hurls it towards you with alarming speed. He can also summon minions and create time bubbles that freeze you in place. His second phase gets minions that can heal him, attacks that can cover almost the entire arena, some of which have the ability to drain an entire health bar. While those big ones are telegraphed, it'll take a few deaths before you get the hang of them. He's another boss whose Vow of Rivals fight is just more intense, although he does get an additional phase where his attacks are faster and trickier.
You think that you prevailed?
Prometheus. Leading the charge of Kronos' forces on Olympus is the Titan of Foresight, Prometheus. And the biggest problem with his fight is his tendency to set everything around you on fire. He has a lot of close-range attacks, but each of them also has an enhanced version, which sends out a powerful blast of flames and makes them trickier to read. His attacks that aren't close range leave fire behind for a few seconds, making the arena harder to maneuver in while he continues attacking you. By far the most problematic is when he leaps out of the arena and forces you to play a memory game with giant rows of fire. Misremember, and you'll take a hefty chunk of damage that can end a run.
There was no dignity in this at all.
Scylla and Charybdis. Scylla and her sirens are the second boss fight of the underworld that you'll get used to after a few tries. But the Vow of Rivals fight, featuring her old pal and famous sea monster Charybdis, is much harder to deal with. Attacks that may have been easier to dodge in either fight will now rip through you, so densely packed with damage the arena becomes. If you dodge Charybdis' tentacles, you'll probably dash right into one of the many projectiles or shockwaves sent out by the sirens. Roxy the drummer also now has water traps behind her that stun you, allowing the others to rack up more damage if you don't move quickly enough. It's another fight where there's a lot to keep track of, keeping you constantly on the move. Polyphemus and Medea.
Remember me, Cyclops.
We were all too happy for Poison to have been left behind in the first game, until we got to this duo. The Vow of Rivals fight for the Cyclops Polyphemus adds Medea, usually your ally. While his strength could be troublesome in his original fight, the witch increases the danger tenfold. Not only does she cover the arena in poison, forcing you to either sprint towards a curing pool or quickly suffer damage over time, but she also adds that effect onto Polyphemus' attacks if he touches it. Poison can cause you to panic, just as the hated mechanic did in the original Hades, and that can cause mistakes, like running into more damage while trying to cure yourself. Medea's inclusion turns a relatively simple fight into a maddening one.
Return to shadow now.
Typhon.
Hiding your knuckles?
The father of all monsters is an absolute brute, with attacks so powerful they can put you in immediate danger of using a Death Defiance or losing everything. If you get too close, he'll quickly slam down. Too far, and he's got a multitude of projectiles to make your time miserable.
Everyone lend me your strength. Now, young lady, finish this.
These include cyclones, which appear while a strong wind pushes you around, and eyeballs that burst and produce a group of additional projectiles you have to dodge. He can also fire a deadly laser from his mouth and produce eggs that birth horrifying monsters you have to deal with if you don't destroy them quickly enough. During his fourth and final phase, all of his attacks deal double damage, and extremely fast tentacles start popping out of the floor. It's no wonder it takes the might of all Olympus to beat Typhon back, should you fail. Zagreus. After completing the story, you might find a contract in Charon's shop, which leads you to fighting your own brother as the champion of Elysium. As is to be expected, he is incredibly swift and hits incredibly hard. He fights using his father's spear, Gygaros, which gives many of his attacks a sizable range, and the speed in which he unleashes combos can delete portions of your health bar before you can react. Other things to look out for are his cast as a deadly projectile and his ability to briefly turn invisible to attack you unawares. After you've taken out his health bar, he'll also use a Death Defiance to refill it halfway, and here's hoping you have enough of your own to make it through.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just a little winded. That's all.
Prometheus and Heracles. Both the regular fight against Prometheus and his Vow of Rivals fight are hard enough and distinct enough to warrant including both of them. If you choose to challenge yourself, the Titan will then be joined by the demigod Heracles. If you thought dodging a bombardment of flames was hard, just wait until you have to do it with this legendary hero trying to pummel you with his club. Heracles' attacks can be deadly, whether you take a direct hit or get caught by a shockwave. At half health, he gets stronger and faster. All this on top of everything that already made Prometheus hard. Plus, unlike the other team-up fights we've mentioned, Prometheus and Heracles have separate health bars, sometimes forcing you to divide your attention.
I knew I could not stop you. Such wrath. Hold on to it.
Typhon and Kronos. The Vow of Rivals reaches peak difficulty with Typhon, who brings the Titan of Time into the fight with him. Everything that made the first battle hard is amplified when you also have Kronos throwing his entire moveset at you too. Exploding eyeballs and mouth lasers are bad enough, but since you can't damage Kronos, who's dashing around and flinging his scythe about, this is a true test of skill.
I am a mere apparition.
That's not to mention that where Zeus would normally show up to deal Typhon heavy lightning damage, Kronos produces time bubbles to try and stun you. There's also an additional phase where Kronos turns you into a child unable to fight back, and you have to stay within a moving circle to undo the curse and still dodge everything coming at you. Needless to say, the satisfaction you feel after conquering this fight is unlike anything else in the game. Have you conquered everything that Hades 2 has to offer? Which bosses give you the most trouble? Share your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time.